from magnetic dipole. Okay, so let's talk about magnetic dipole. Okay, so let's talk about magnetic dipole. Okay, so now what is magnetic dipole? Basically, whenever we are talking about electric dipole, so electric dipole is a pair of equal and opposite poles. Okay, whenever we are talking about electric dipole, that electric dipole is a pair of equal and opposite poles. Okay, so whenever we are talking about electric dipole, so electric dipole is a pair of equal and opposite poles. About the magnetic dipole, so let's talk about what is magnetic dipole. So magnetic dipole basically dipole. Okay, so magnetic dipole is a pair of equal and opposite poles. Basically, whenever we talk about electric dipole, so electric dipole is a pair of equal and opposite charges. Okay, the same way magnetic dipole is a pair of equal and opposite poles, and that is separated by a very small distance. So you can write a pair of equal and opposite poles separated by a very small distance. Okay, so this pair is known as basically magnetic dipole, and we know the best example of that magnetic dipole is bar magnet. Whenever we talk about bar magnet, so bar magnet is also a pair of equal and opposite poles. So somewhere if you draw a bar magnet, so bar magnet, one is north pole, one is south pole, and these poles are separated by some distance. So a pair of equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance is known as magnetic dipole. Okay. And now if we talk about the best example of magnetic dipole, so the best example of magnetic dipole is bar magnet, because bar magnet is also separated by a very small distance. Okay, bar magnet is also separated by a very small distance. So small distance means a very 10 to the power minus 30 around. Now if we say that the strength of the dipole can be denoted by, or we can, if you want to find out what is the strength of this dipole, magnetic dipole, that strength of the magnetic dipole can be denoted by another parameter, and that is known as magnetic dipole moment. Okay, so if we talk about magnetic dipole moment, and is denoted by M. So what the electric dipole moment will tell the strength of electric dipole. The same way the magnetic dipole moment will tell you the strength of magnetic dipole. Okay. So the strength of the magnetic dipole is denoted by the magnetic dipole moment. Now if you find out what is its value? So basically you have one north pole, one south pole is there. This pole has some pole strength. Suppose that is Qm. This Qm is known as pole strength. The strength of the pole. Okay. Magnetic dipole moment means it is a pair. It will tell you the strength of the magnetic dipole, And now if we take an example of bar magnet, so a bar magnet has a one north pole, one south pole, and each pole has some pole strength, and suppose that pole strength is denoted by a symbol, that is Qm. So same way we have Qm1, I am writing Qm, you can write it. Same, it also has some pole strength. Again, I am writing it Qm. So this is also the pole strength. Now, if these poles are divided by a very small distance, suppose this is 2L, this is the center of the dipole. So then if you find out the magnetic moment, that magnetic dipole moment, then the magnetic dipole moment is the product of pole strength into the separation. Okay. So this is the formula of dipole moment, that dipole moment is the product of pole strength and the separation between the north pole and the south pole, and that separation is very, very small. Okay. So whenever we are talking about dipole moment will tell you the strength of the magnetic dipole, and if we have two poles separated at a very small distance 2L, and each pole has some pole strength, that is pole strength Qm, and it has also pole strength Qm, then if you want to find out what is the value of magnetic dipole moment, then it is given by pole strength into the separation. So the strength, the product of pole strength and the separation between the two poles is known as magnetic dipole moment. Okay. Now if we talk about that units and other things of a dipole, magnetic dipole. So first of all, you have to know that magnetic dipole moment is a vector quantity. So it is a vector quantity. Okay. And its direction is always from south pole to north pole. The same way the direction of electric dipole is from negative to positive. So here if we talk about the magnetic dipole moment, so the direction of the dipole moment, that is magnetic dipole moment, is always from south to north. So if we draw it here, a bar magnet, this is south, this is north. So this is the direction of this magnetic moment. And now you can write the formula: magnetic moment is equals to pole strength into 2L. So magnetic dipole moment is a vector quantity and its direction is always from south pole to north pole. And magnetic dipole moment and also now can be given by vector m is equals to q into 2L. Now if we talk about its unit, okay, so it's have two units basically. The commonly used unit is basically known as the SI unit of it, and the SI unit is ampere meter square, and the another unit is joule per Tesla. So whenever you talk about the SI unit of magnetic dipole moment, so that SI unit of a dipole moment is ampere meter square. Okay, and the another unit of it is joule per Tesla. This unit will come from whenever we discuss the current carrying loop will behave as a magnetic dipole. Then we'll find out how the value of this is ampere meter square. So the unit SI unit of magnetic dipole is ampere meter square. Okay, joule per Tesla. So this is all about magnetic dipole. So now let's talk about how a current carrying circular loop will behave as a magnetic dipole. Okay. So there is always an analogy relation between electricity and magnetism. Okay. There is always a relationship between electricity and magnetism. This you have to remember, but most of the part is removed from your syllabus. Then we are not going to discuss it. Okay. But some of the relationship I can tell you over here. So what are these relationships? The analogy between electricity, electrostatics and magnetism you can see over here. Okay. So what is that analogy? So first of all, if we talk about electrostatics, and here we are talking about magnetism. We are comparing what is that analogy between electrostatics and magnetism. So basically they are related to each other somewhere. Okay. So which phenomena we discussed already in the case of electrostatics. The same thing we are going to discuss in the case of magnetism. But that part is already removed from the syllabus. That's why I am not going to discuss it. But I just want to tell you what is the similarities. So first of all, if we talk about free space, if we talk about any time free space whenever we talk about, then the value of K for in electrostatic is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon s naught, where epsilon s naught is the permittivity. But when we will talk about magnetism, the value of K will become mu naught upon 4 pi. So mu naught is permeability, whereas it is permittivity. Whenever if we talk about electricity, electrostatics, the the electric dipole is given by, electric dipole is basically given by P is equals to Q into 2A. Here the magnetic dipole is given by, that is M is equals to Qm into 2L. This is the pole strength and this is the separation. This is the charge, magnitude of the charge, and this is the separation. Okay. So this is the similarity. And other similarity, if we talk about at axial point, if we need to find out the electric field at the axial point in electrostatics, at axial point, due to a dipole we are doing finding. So at axial point the electric field is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon s naught 2 p vector upon r cube is the electric field at the axial point. But we will find out, now the expression is removed from your syllabus, but somewhere if you will find out at axial point due to a dipole what is the magnetic field, then magnetic field is given by mu naught upon 4 pi 2m upon r cube. Okay, at axial point if it is 1 upon k cube 2p upon r cube, here it is mu naught 4 pi or k 2m upon r cube. So they are also similar. If you find out the torque, last day we also find out the torque. So here torque is given by P cross E, means torque is the product of electric dipole moment into electric field. But when we are talking about torque in the magnetism, it is the product of magnetic dipole into magnetic field. And if we talk about potential energy over there, so potential energy, that is U equals to minus P cos theta is given. Means potential energy is the product of negative of dipole moment, electric dipole moment into electric field. Now here it is given by U equals to minus MB cos theta. So somewhere whatever we are discussing in the electrostatics, the electric field due to a dipole, the torque due to a dipole, or the energy due to a dipole, somewhere in the magnetism also in electrostatics, they both are similar. Okay. So this is analogy between electric and magnetic dipoles. Basically we are talking about the analogy between electric and magnetic dipoles. So somewhere they both are related to each other. Okay. If we'll see in free space, we are discussing K is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon s naught. Here in magnetism, K equals to mu naught upon 4 pi. Here electric dipole is P equals to Q into 2A. Here magnetic dipole is pole strength into separation, axial point. Similarities. It is P cross E, it is M cross B. It is minus P cos theta, it is minus MB cos theta. So somewhere they both are related to each other. Okay. So now what we are going to discuss, how a current carrying circular loop, how a current carrying circular loop will behave as a magnet. This we are going to discuss. So next thing we are going to discuss, current loop as a magnetic dipole. Okay. What we are going to discuss, current loop. You can write the heading. Current loop. You can write the heading, current loop as a magnetic dipole. Current loop as a magnetic dipole. So we are going to discuss how a current loop will behave as a magnetic dipole. Okay. So let's talk about how a current loop will behave as a magnetic dipole. So current loop, magnetic dipole, we know that it is a pair of equal and opposite poles separated by a small distance. Okay. So let's talk about how the current carrying circular loop will behave as a magnetic dipole. So if you talk about here, suppose this is a circular loop in which the current is flowing like this. The radius of the loop is suppose A, and at axial points what r distance from the center of this, we need to find out the electric field, sorry, the magnetic field. So here the magnetic field is basically given by B equals to mu naught IA square upon 2 R square plus A square की whole 3/2. This is the magnetic field at the axial point due to a current carrying circular loop, and that magnetic field is given by B is equals to mu naught I square IA square upon 2 R square plus A square की power root 3/3. Now if we consider a case when R is very greater than A, then R square is also very greater than A square. Then we will neglect this term A square. But from where, when we are comparing R and A, so when you will neglect it, it is become B is equals to mu naught I A square upon 2 R square. Now R square की power 3/2, R square की power 3/2, so 2 get cancelled, so it is become R cube. So when R is very greater than A, then the magnetic field due to a current carrying loop at the axial point P is given by mu naught IA square upon 2 R cube. Okay. So this is the magnetic field. Now, if I multiply both the equation, if I multiply both the equation by 2 pi, I am multiplying it by 2 pi and also dividing it by 2 pi. So what the equation will become? B equals to mu naught into 2i into pi a square. I have multiplied by 2 and pi. So 2 is multiplied, I have just multiplied I with 2 and a square with pi. And in upon 2 pi into 2 into 4 pi into r cube. So now it is become mu naught 2i pi a square upon 4 pi r cube. So now here you will see this term pi r square. Now this circular loop has the radius a. So if we talk about the area of this circular loop, that is a equals to pi a square. So we can write instead of pi a square, we can put a. The magnetic field will become mu naught 2ia, because I have just replaced the pi a square. First what I have done, I have multiplied this equation with 2 pi and also divided the equation with 2 pi. Now in the next step what I have done, I have just take pi a square together, and we know that this is a circular loop whose radius is a, and whenever we will talk about the area of the circular loop, it is become pi a square. Okay, so instead of pi a square, we can put I into a, and it is 4 pi into r cube. So this is equation 1. Okay, you can note till this. Then what we have done, we have just find out the magnetic field at the axial point due to a current carrying circular loop. After that, we have just considered a case when r is very greater than a, then in r square is again very greater than a square. So we have to neglect the term a square. Then it is become this. We will multiply this equation by 2 pi and also divide the equation by 2 pi. And instead of pi a square, we can put the area of the circular loop. Finally, we will get B is equals to mu naught upon 4 pi 2ia upon r cube. So this is the magnetic field at the axial point due to a circular current carrying loop, and that is B equals to mu naught upon 4 pi 2ia upon r cube. Okay. Now if we talk about the other hand, because we are comparing the electric loop, will behave as a magnetic dipole. So we can also discuss what we can discuss about the electric field due to at the axial point due to a dipole. Okay. So I hope you have noted down this. So I'm just erasing is this equation 1 is very important. So you have to note it down there as the equation 1. Now what I am going to do, the electric field due to a dipole at axial point. Okay. Electric field due to a dipole at axial point. And here also I have to consider that R is very greater than A. And the electric field will become 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 2p upon R cube. This is equation 2. Okay. Now this is what we have done. We have written about the electric field due to a dipole at the axial point. Okay. So, but here also we are considering that R is very greater than A. And that time the electric field is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 2p upon R cube. Okay. So now this is equation 1 and 2. Okay. So if we compare both equation 1 and 2, on comparing equation 1 and 2. So if we talk about electrostatics, then you can write E equals to K 2p upon R cube. Or in vector you can write it like this. And so also the magnetic field is, what is the magnetic field? That is K 2IA upon R cube. Now if we'll see, or if you no need to take the vector. Now if we'll see, in the electric field, what is the role K is playing over here? The same role K is also playing over here. The role of R cube is here. So in magnetic field, R cube is also there. 2 is also here, 2 is also here. Now, but where here is that electric dipole is given. Now here the electric dipole P is given in the magnetic field instead of this P, that is IA is given. Now what the role this P is playing in the case whenever we are discussing the electric field due to a dipole. So this is P is behaving as an electric dipole moment. So we can say that from here this term I into A can also behave as a dipole. But which type of dipole? It will behave as magnetic dipole. So from here, that if you really compare both the equation, E for electric field, B for magnetic field, K for constant, here also K constant, R cube is here, 2 is here. Now what role P is playing in the case of electrostatics whenever we are talking about the electric dipole moment? Same in the magnetism, this quantity IA is playing the same role what electric dipole is playing. So here from here we can conclude, we can say that this IA is also behave as a dipole, but we are talking it in the magnetic field, so it will behave as a magnetic dipole. So if we compare over here, then what we can write from both the equation, we can say that M is given I into A. Means the formula for what? The formula for magnetic dipole moment is M equals to I into A. So from this we can say the current carrying loop will behave as a magnetic dipole. Okay. So this is basically for one turn. And if we talk about for n number of turn, for n number of turn, it is become M is equals to NIA. So last day I told you whenever we have find out the torque NIAB sin theta, I told you that there we can write M instead of NIA. So that magnetic dipole moment is also given by I into A for one number of turns, and if there are n number of turns, then the magnetic dipole is given by NIA. So from here, what we can conclude that the current carrying loop will behave as a magnetic dipole. Okay, note it. Now we also have the direction to find out the direction of magnetic dipole, and that is basically right hand thumb rule. Okay, the direction for to find out the direction of magnetic dipole moment, we have a law, and that law is right hand thumb rule. So how we can write it now? So I can write it m equals to I in vector form, m equals to I into a cap. You know that area, we consider area as a vector quantity. Okay, or if you don't want to write it, you can write it like this also, Ia into n cap. I will talk about the direction of dipole, direction of m. So we will use the right hand thumb rule. This is a circular current loop like this. So if your curl finger is telling you the direction of current, if the curl finger of right hand will tell you the direction of current, then the thumb will give you the direction of magnetic moment. So this is the thing. So what is the direction of thumb? This is the direction of magnet. This is the direction of magnetic dipole. Okay, so the direction of magnetic dipole we know south to north. So this below surface will behave as south, upper surface will behave as north. So to find the direction of magnetic dipole moment, we can use right hand thumb rule. And what is that rule? If the curl finger of your right hand is telling you the direction of current, if the curl finger is telling you the direction of current, then the thumb will show you the direction of magnetic dipole. Okay, so you can write it also.